This is a question that, if you know the pattern, the shortcut, takes you about 4 seconds to finish. If you don't, it's a little bit harder. So go ahead, try this question first. Okay, so a great performance of a play both stimulates us to think and enlarges our capacity for feeling. So what is that pattern or that shortcut that I mentioned? The first thing you have to recognize, as the title suggests, is that what we have here is a word pair. Now, a word pair is, fancy definition for it, or fancy term, is the correlative conjunction. Basically, it's pairs of words that go together to structure a sentence in a particular way. And in this case, the word pair is both and. And notice in the original, we have this word pair, both and. So that's good. If it said both or both also, or something like that, you can immediately get rid of those choices because it doesn't match the word pair. And indeed, if we look at B, we get rid of the both and word pair, which is probably not a good thing. And if you read it, it's just a terrible sentence. It's basically a run-on. A great performance of a play stimulates our thinking, enlarges our feeling capacity too. It's essentially a run-on, so we can definitely get rid of B. Notice, though, first things first, all of the other choices remaining, A, C, D, and E, have the word pair, or at least A, C, and E do. D gets rid of it. A great performance of a play is stimulating to our thinking and enlarging our capacity for feeling too. It's not horrific, I suppose, but it's not as good as having this word pair. The SAT loves these word pairs. So I think we can get rid of D as well, because it's not going to be as effective as a choice that contains this both and word pair. So how do we choose between A, C, and E? Well, when you have a word pair, there's one other thing that you have to consider. You have to make sure you've got the word pair and that you've got parallelism. So I talk about this in the Grammar Bootcamp if you want to check this out. But basically, we need to make sure that what comes after each piece of the word pair is equivalent. And if you look at the original, notice we already have parallel sentence. So here is our both. Then we have a verb, stimulates. And then the object, it stimulates us to think. Both stimulates us to think. Now, the second part, we've got end. Enlarges, which is our verb. Our capacity, which is, this case, the object. And then we've got for feeling, which matches up with to think. So if I color code this, here's a blue verb, here's a blue verb, here's a red direct object, here's a red direct object, and then here's a purpley pink phrase that completes it. So these are already parallel, which means we like A. Let's look at C. Both is a stimulus to our thinking and an enlargement of our capacity to feel. Well, it may seem parallel, but notice this both has an is, whereas this end has no is. So it's not actually parallel. We get rid of C. In E, we have here is both a stimulus to our thinking and enlarges. So here we've got a verb after end, but we don't have a verb after both. So again, not parallel. So the answer to this one is going to be A, because it matches the word pair. And once we know that, we get rid of B and D. And it's the only one that's parallel, so we can get rid of C and E. To learn more about Reason Prep's SAT, SAT subject test, and ACT video courses, go to reasonprep.com/enroll. And you can find the link in the description below the video.